Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's been a really long time. Thank you all for sticking with me, but life has gotten a little bit in the way, but I'm trying to restart with this channel and hopefully continue with content creating. One of the videos that was, I guess, more requested when I did a little poll in my community was actually how my application to TUM looked like. So I wanted to make this little series, just kind of break it up by different documents that you're going to need for the application. And so I hope you enjoyed this series and this video, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any other ideas, of course, and we'll just get started. So a little bit of a disclaimer before we dive into it. I just wanted to mention that I made this video just to know my experiences and how I wrote the documents. I did apply during COVID 2020 where they didn't have a GRE requirement. New York City was also shut down, which was my closest Goethe Institute to write my German exams, which is why I didn't have those results in time for my application. And you should also know for a later video that my bachelor's program in Canada, you don't really have something like a thesis, but you do have a design project for if you were in engineering. That's regulated at the federal level. As context, I also got into this master's program at TUM in the first round of assessment, and I didn't have any interviews or extra assessments that I needed to take, which I know, for example, aerospace might need to do. And all of this, the content in this video is according to what worked for me, and I hope it works for you too, but of course it's not a guarantee, and hope you find this helpful. The first thing, what I think is the single most important document for your master's or grad school application at TUM is actually your letter of motivation. Most, if not all, of the programs require this, at least mine did. Basically, if you don't know what it is, it's a one-pager that's well formatted, of course. It's also known as a personal statement. You can think of kind of like a why should we take you? So you should definitely answer who are you? What's your background? And, if you're applying to a different master's program than your bachelor's study, then you should also answer within this one pager, why are you actually applying to a different master's program? As a little bit of context, I studied chemical engineering in my bachelor's and did material science and engineering in my master's, so there was a lot of overlap, but it's still a slightly different change in study, which that's okay for North American schools. They wouldn't bat an eye on it, but for Germans, they usually are very strict about this, which is why it's usually better to explain upfront kind of your motivation for switching your field of studies. And then I think lastly, and the key thing I think you need to answer in your letter of motivation, at least for me, was essentially what experiences do you actually have that led you to apply to this program today for this cycle. Obviously, in addition to that, your letter of motivation or personal statement should also answer why this specific program at TUM and not at another university. If you have enough space, you should also kind of think about and also hint at what do you add to the program and vice versa. How will the program, once you're in it and once you've graduated, help you in your career and your future? If this program has a specialization, do you already have an idea where you want to specialize? For context, my program in material science and engineering had 4 different specializations that we could choose from. So this was relevant for me. And then, because I personally applied during COVID, so 2020 actually, at the last part I kind of just put, are there any special notes or extenuating circumstances about this application that the evaluation committee should actually know when, I guess, evaluating your application? So now that we've gone through the main points that I tried to hit in my letter of motivation, I figured it would be helpful to also take a look at the actual final one pager. I removed some information that would dox myself, so just in case you're wondering. In any case, we start of course with the header, what is it, and then we address the committee. And then in the first paragraph, I discuss really who am I, what's my academic background, and why I'm switching fields. And then in the second one, I go into my personal experiences. For example, you also did some research projects already in material science or whichever field that you are applying for. You should mention them here. You should also mention what you learned, kind of the skills that you gained, which is what I try to highlight at the end, the so what of every paragraph. And then you should also, of course, answer why this program and what are you looking forward to most, as well as the specialization. So I mentioned this is what I wanted to do, as that I was looking forward to the industry experience through the internship, as well as having a mentor in the program. And lastly, I also discussed, because I applied in the middle of the COVID shutdown in New York in 2020, I did mention that some of the application documents I was missing due to the shutdown in 2020, which is why I don't have that as part of my application, but I did reassure them that I have worked in German, so I did have enough proficiency for the program. In any case, I hope this has been helpful to some degree in your application to TUM. I wish you all the best of success and hope to see you in the next video.